I'm Dave Palumbo, founder of Species Nutrition. From my earliest bodybuilding days, I believed in only putting the best in my body. And that lives on in the Species Nutrition line of products. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
I love it.
Welcome back to After Hours. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined by two very good friends right now, Gregg Valentino and John Romano. And welcome back, guys. You know, it's funny. I was looking at the intro and Jimmy going crazy, and you know what? He sent me this video of, you know, he's doing the oil. He's filling the oil up, you know, for people in the neighborhood, you know, heating oil. And he had to actually put one of the spouts for the oil had to be 10 feet high, John. I think he had to climb up a ladder to put the thing in there, and he actually shot a video showing me this thing. Who would put a spout that high up in the air?
An idiot.
You know, in Mexico, they did it with the gas lines. So if you got the gas tank up on the roof, you know, they got a pipe that comes down with a coupling, and they back the truck up and they jam the thing on there and you know, fill up the tank from down there. So it requires one guy to go up on the roof and open the valve to.
Oh, we lost John there.
And they got to somehow communicate by whistling, and they got this communication system. Well, one time, and you know, and they're high up. They got to stand on the back of the truck and, like, you know, plug it in, right? Yeah. So one day in the neighborhood, we heard this muffled kind of boom, and somehow they because the thing was so high and they had the ladder rigged up, the aluminum ladder fell into the power lines above them. It made the connection. It made a spark. It ignited the gas. And the two guys blew up.
Oh, they blew up? Oh, wow.
So Jimmy doesn't have it that bad.
No. I don't get a Mexican to help him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're almost at the end of January already, and there's no sign of any bodybuilding shows, at least till May or something like that. There might be a couple peppered in April. And, you know, we have to kind of, you know, use social media to kind of entertain us. Thank God for social media, right? Because
what happened to Arnold? What happened in the show, the Arnold show?
They moved it because the problem is that you can't have a big expo, Greg, when there's limitations on your state. So how can they have the Arnold Expo, you know?
Yeah, but this is going to
when is it?
September now, tentatively, yeah.
So it's this wow, so people got to work till September, huh?
Yeah.
Biden's president. It's all going to be gone. Haven't you heard? He's curing COVID. He said,
yeah, he's doing a fucking
Hold on.
great job.
I got to call you out, John, though, because you said this was all going to disappear after the election.
Yeah, it is.
When?
Give him a minute. He just got there. He's busy killing jobs and causing problems with Canada and raising the price of gas. He'll get around to
He'll get guys to run against girls in fucking high school sports and shit, you know? That's the big thing.
Right. He's busy doing shit like that.
Oh, wait. He also wants to make sure that we got Harriet Tubman on the fucking $20 bill. You know what I mean? Which I have no trouble with that. I don't give a fuck.
Do you know that most people, Greg, probably have no idea who Harriet Tubman is and that she ran the Underground Railroad, which freed slaves?
They will, because not only will she be shoved up our ass, and we did learn about her in history in school. I did anyway. But they want to make that the only history you read in school. You know, the whole 1619 project.
They want to rewrite history.
Right.
They want to omit whole swaths of history.
Now, why is that?
Because they are creating the belief system of what they want everybody in America to believe. And if you don't believe what they put out there, then you're a traitor.
Divide and conquer.
To the victor, the victors write the history. Isn't that always the saying? I don't know who said that, but
it's true.
Whoever wins the battle, they write history however they want.
Victor, why are we at a war with ourselves?
I don't know.
Why do we need a victor? I mean,
I don't know.
This is nuts what's going on here.
It's divide and conquer. If they get us to fight each other, then they become they have power. That's exactly how they do it.
Speaking of fighting, guys, let me ask you this question. If you had you remember the old celebrity, you remember that show on MTV, Celebrity Death Matches?
Yeah.
It was like a cartoon, and they would have like Mike Tyson fighting like the Wolfman or something like that. He'd like bite the guy's head off or something like that. You know, it was like they were great. I mean, they was brutally like violently funny, based on whatever the person's personality. If we had to have a celebrity like grudge match or death match, as they call them, between bodybuilders, who would you like to see? Who would you pit against each other?
Arnold and Lou.
Now they're doing fucking Logan Jack and
Logan
whatever
Paul?
his name is. Logan Paul fighting this celebrity and that celebrity.
I love it. I like it. I like that.
Chris Hemsworth is going to fight fucking Chris Hemsworth's going to fight some YouTube star guy.
Really?
It's
beat up Nate Robinson.
It's going to be cartoon, right?
Yeah, well, cartoon, right? Not for real. Hafthor Bjornsson is fighting. I just put up.
Like Celebrity Deathmatch, right?
Yeah, Celebrity Deathmatch. That's.
So I would want to see Arnold and Louis and Arnold and Menser.
From that era, absolutely. Now I think Louis has like crazy strength. I think he would destroy Arnold. Don't you?
I would want to see Louis kick the shit out of Arnold.
But Arnold was smart. So maybe Arnold would have like somehow tricked. That's part of the whole Celebrity Deathmatch. Like you can pull like funny, like Arnold might say, "Look up there," and Louis might look, and he might cut his throat out or something.
That would be good, but Menser should kick the shit out of Arnold.
Well, Menser would have some kind of like demented like plan of like how he's gonna like.
I want to see
Arnold and Gregg. I want to see Gregg Valentino and Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I want to see.
Greg, if you had to fight Arnold, what would be your first move?
I'd kick him right in the balls first. Hey, no, seriously. When I was having that fight with Victor Richards,
right?
He got now I'm fucking like 21 years old. We're in Gold's Gym, and he's this most massive fucking guy in Gold's Gym. And he was massive,
right?
He was 300 something pounds back then in '81.
Yeah, and
he was wide and all this shit. He was screaming at me, getting mad at me, and I'm going, holy fuck. He's gonna hit me.
Yeah,
and
that's back in the days when you could hit people and get away with it too. Yeah,
can't fight.
Yeah, but he probably can't fight. And
if he's screaming at you, you can't fight.
But the thing is I was 165 pounds. You know what I mean? So he might have had 200 pounds on me.
But you have the short man Italian I can kill anyone complex going also.
Well, I said I'm gonna hit him first. So what I said. I'm going to kick him in the balls. So what I was going to do is I was going to kick him, and then when he went like this, I was going to start fucking punching him. So he said to me, and he kept calling me little man, all because, I was like, his Botswana slave boy. So he was going to fucking every day I would help him work out. He'd tell me, okay, get those dumbbells, and bring them over here. And they were like 250 pounds, and I'm rolling them like this and shit. Come on, and he'd be like, come on, and he'd sit down, and then he'd tell me, lift them up and get him. I need them up here, So now I can't lift up them fucking things. You know what I mean? It double my body weight almost.
Right.
You know? So I'd have to get somebody to help me, and we put him in his hands like this, and he's ready to do incline fly. And dude, incline flies were like 250-pound dumbbells. I mean, he was no joke.
And was he doing like was it good sets he was doing with him?
Yeah.
Oh.
But the thing is, he would have me, you know, he would have me push on his arms, you know, his elbows.
Right.
To get the weight up, right?
I've heard the story. This is a good story.
I would push, and then you know the story, right?
Tell it. Yeah, tell it for people who never heard it.
But he used to oil up his arms. He used to oil up his body sometimes, you know, to make himself look good. He'd wear a tank top. So when I'm pushing, my hands are sliding like this on his elbows, and he's getting mad. Push, push, and I'm like, I'm fucking pushing, you know? And then he would get mad, throw the fucking dumbbells down. So then I came up with this ingenious idea, because I work out, when I do only back, I work out with sponges, you know, sponge cloths, right? I have in my hands. So I said, fuck, you know what? Let me get the sponge cloths. That'll help. So I get these 2 fucking sponge cloths, right? You know, I put it in my hand like this, and I put it up on his elbows now, and as he's doing it, it's working, you know? So now he's a happy man. But at the same time, one of the Barbarian brothers comes up to me and they go, dude, but why are you putting sponges on his arms? And I said, because he fucking oiled up his arms, and he's screaming at me, and I'm fucking trying to help him get the weight up, and I can't help him. I can't push that fucking weight. I mean, you know, that's a lot of weight. So instead of fucking, yeah, you know, like, they start breaking his balls, and instead of him getting upset with them for breaking his balls, he got upset with me for telling them that he had like oil on his arm, and he freaked out. And he started telling me, throwing the fucking dumbbells around, and you know, little man, God damn you, little man, you shut your mouth, don't tell him nothing, you know. He had that put the lime in the coconut attitude, you know? And so I was like getting nervous, you know. And then I said, you know, I'm not your fucking. So I started popping back the mouth. Yeah, I'm not your fucking slave boy. Find somebody else to help you do this shit every day.
Right.
Grab this dumbbell. Come on, grab that one over here.
Did you actually train with him, or you just helped him work out?
I was his fucking spotter. You know what I mean?
So you weren't even getting your own workout done at this point.
Right. I was allowed to, in between sets, go do, you know, I was doing that. I think one time I was doing curls, too. I mean, this happened every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
He would recruit you. He did it to other people, too. But Gregg was... I was there a couple of times. I remember those fucking sponges. They smelled so fucking bad, man. You could tell when you were within like 20 feet of those guys just from the smell of the sponges.
Who smelled? The sponges or Victor smelled? Which one?
Both.
No, Victor smelled like cocoa butter.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was oiled up.
Bro, he got so pissed at me. He got so fucking pissed at me. And then I fucking gave him the infamous, bro, I'm the stupidest shit. Bro, I'm from New York. I'm not afraid of you. I'll kick you right in your balls, you know? And he stopped. He didn't do anything after that. And then we had a big boo-ha, and he got mad. Then he's going outside. Now, I used to be friends with Samir Banu. So then he's outside, and he's talking to Samir Banu, and I'm going, holy fuck, he's turning Samir Banu against me, because they're all looking at me, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that. And I'm like, is he going to fucking jump me? You know what I mean? When I leave the gym, you know, am I going to get jumped?
Right.
And, you know, but it ended after. Now we're friends, Victor and I. You know, it was a long time ago.
Of course.
In 1981.
You know what's funny is that I didn't know Gregg back then, but there was definitely things about Gregg that I still remember. He was the only guy to use those sponges. It was that was
well, Roy Callender used to use the big sponges, like you wipe your car with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you had these ratty
big fucking pads.
Now, was it because you were too cheap to buy gloves, Gregg, or you just like the sponges?
No, I didn't. I don't like gloves. I don't like anything that restricts you. I don't like. I can't wear Walkman when I train. I like no music. That's why I like to train at World's Gym.
Right.
World's Gym back in the day played no music.
Right.
When I go to Gold's Gym, you have to listen to people listen to Walkmans just came around, you know, to put the tape in there.
Right.
But you know, the sponges start out like a kind of yellow color. You know, Gregg's were like brown.
God forbid he bought a new pair of sponges, which probably cost him 50 cents, right?
Well, the funny thing is that now it's like 40 years later, and I'm thinking back, and I'm like, that was him, you know?
I still have them.
Greg, you should be selling your own sponges, Valentino sponges to work out.
No, remember we bought that bottle of stink shit. Remember at in the studio?
Yeah.
What was that? It was the most horrendous thing in the entire.
Oh yeah, it was like the smelled like farts or something like that, right?
Yeah, you bring it to school, you throw them and shit.
No, it was a little bottle like this.
It was a dropper. Yeah.
A dropper, right? You take the top off, and like if you were like within like this area to it, it was like getting punched in the face. It was
the hand grips would smell like socks sometimes.
Yeah.
But you know what what's driving me crazy was when fucking Andreas Colling, that prick, used to lay in the goddamn. I would go tan before him. Remember, you go up the steps, and then they had the tanning bed right there, up the steps, the first level steps. I would tan it. He'd be banging on the door and shit like that. Come on, come on.
Like you can make the machine go faster, Greg, right?
Dude, I'm tanning it. He felt like, because, he was, somebody. It's 1981, so it's a long time ago. So when he would go in there and tan, I would go upstairs to the bathroom, and I would soak all these fucking paper towels, and I would throw them over the fucking. I would throw them over the booth and basically like fucking bomb them, like what I'm saying?
You know it was you. You know it was you.
No, he didn't know it was me at first. He found out later, but he would be, "What the fuck?" and he'd get mad and shit. But he was annoying. He had a voice like Fran Drescher. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
He got a stroke. Have you seen him lately? He's got a big, giant Viking beard. Didn't he get a stroke?
He had that years ago, I think, or some kind of facial palsy. He had some. I don't know if it was a stroke or not, but
yeah, they always show his body.
Palsy, yeah. He's got his palsy.
Greg, who do you think stunk the worst?
There was some stinkies in there. There were guys in there that you didn't even know their name, but they were really jacked, and you could see like they sleep in that sweatshirt. Like I'd be telling a guy, "Bro, is that fresh onion bagels I smell?"
Who's having Campbell's soup?
It's like that when you go to the gym, bro. You smell the fucking salami breath and shit like that. You walk by the cardio in the morning. In the morning, people are fucking. They just wake up. They come to the gym. They don't brush their teeth. They don't even drink water. They get on a treadmill, and then they're in there. And you walk in, and you're like, "Holy fucking Italian deli in here!" I
had an employee. I'm not going to mention who it is. Who used to he would crawl out of bed and come to work, and breath would be like he would murder you. I'm like, "Did you brush your teeth?" It's not me. It's not Tyler. It's not. Release him.
I know.
You know who it is.
I can't. But didn't you guys when you go to cardio, you could smell that shit. It's either that or fucking fresh onion soup under somebody's fucking sotto la braccia there, you know?
Yeah, you know what? Let me ask you guys this question because you're Italian. No matter what I eat, it comes out my pores. So if I eat something oniony or garlicky, it doesn't matter. I can shower 40 times. I'm very clean. But it like emanates from my being, the smell of these spices. Do you guys experience that too? I know a lot of Italians are like that.
Training with Blackman the day after one of those.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he definitely stunk.
With the garlic, the bowls of garlic and the red wine. And and he's late and wants me to spot him, doing bench in the morning. And he's like, it's coming out of his breath, his pores.
And he's a clean fanatic, so it wasn't like that he didn't shower. It was just coming out of his pores, basically.
My fucking eyes were tear. It was so.
First of all, I don't stink because I don't eat any of that shit. I'm a bleached guinea. I do not eat garlic, and I do not eat fucking.
You don't eat sauce? Gravy?
You would eat it raw.
No, I eat gravy. I call it gravy.
Yeah, gravy has garlic in it.
He's an Irish guinea.
Yeah, but he would eat it raw. He would eat this. We got like bowls of raw garlic, and when it's raw, man, that really.
It's like raw onion, same thing.
What about? Hey, did you ever? I don't know, John, if you remember this guy. Dave, you might know him. Do you remember Charlie Thomas? He was a great bodybuilder in like '70.
No. I remember the name. I don't remember what he even looks like.
Black guy. He was a really good bodybuilder, and he would come to Bob Bonham's gym and chew on cloves of garlic.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
With the few teeth he had remaining, by the way.
Oh, there's speaking of garlic, there's Carlo Filippone.
Hey, Dave, can you guys hear me?
Oh, and Bostin Loyd at the same time.
Always in the dark.
What's up, bro?
Here.
Bostin, is it a little early for you?
Yeah, I just got up.
I make fun of you, but the truth is, Bostin, when I was bodybuilding, I used to sleep also to like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon sometimes. But you do have a kid. How do you prevent him from coming in and waking you up?
Well, no, him and Ariella are up at 7 o'clock, and then they go to my mom's and they do their errands and stuff.
Oh, that's convenient. That wouldn't fly in my house.
And what about Carlo? He's got a little kid too now.
I have a 1.5-year-old who swears she's 5.
Carlo, you probably get up at 5 in the morning if I know you.
I'm up at 4:35 every morning.
Yeah, you're a worker.
I'm going to bed at 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm texting you sometimes.
No, I know. You have my schedule. You get 3-4 hours of sleep. I can relate. Believe me.
Yeah.
100%.
What's going on, guys? Bostin, what's up, buddy?
What up?
Carlo, what's the latest you got going over there with the chicken pound and all your food services?
Yeah, we just had an impromptu inspection. That's why I'm late, so sorry, guys. Things are great. We're moving in the right directions. We introduced some new flavors a couple of months ago, and
they're delicious.
Really well. So we're this year. The plan for 2021 is to get down, have a distribution location in Florida, Texas, and Nevada.
Wow.
So that we can cover the country in 2 days or less on the ground.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
Let me ask you a question, Carl. Would you ever consider doing like salmon? Like no? Why?
Nah. Because we're just loving what we do with the chicken, to be honest with you. And it's so meticulous with profit margins, Dave. You know.
That's true. Salmon's expensive. Yeah.
Salmon's expensive, beef's expensive, and then getting it right on the reheating process. It's tough enough with the chicken. Can you imagine with the fish and the meat? People want it rare. People want it medium. People want it well. It just becomes a disaster. And
listen, you know what you guys?
The margins aren't there.
Yeah.
Carlo, what you got to do is you got to start offering dessert.
Yeah.
Cookie.
Get
off the cookies.
Mr. G's cookies. Yeah.
We happen to know where you can get a cookie.
Supply your cookies. It's going to be Mr. G's cookies with Carlo's chicken pound. Check the box if you want cookies.
I love the idea. I spoke to George a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a couple of months ago at this point. But once we nail this down, and we're going to introduce marinades too. So we're going to bring in our marinades. Once we get those two things down, we can talk about anything.
Hey, Carlo.
No, but you know what'll happen, John? Carlo will have like 20,000 orders, and Mr. G will be trying to bake all the cookies himself. Yeah.
You can't bake them, boys. Uber. Hey, Uber will. You can get Uber to deliver your stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Uber. They won't deliver stuff. They'll deliver. You can have alcohol, right?
Yeah.
But you can't have supplements delivered. They'll deliver alcohol, but no vitamins are allowed to be delivered by Uber.
My wife
should make a chicken cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah, you can
you make a little Happy Meal with the freaking chicken.
There you go, John. That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, once you have everything set up, you need a whole staff, Doing baking and doing chicken are two different entire things.
Carl, you got to send some chicken down to Bostin Loyd.
I will. Bostin.
What do you mean? I order
Bostin a ton of
chicken.
chicken.
All the time from him.
I know you do. That's why I'm saying send some chicken to him. You're his best advertiser. Because you're lazy.
Absolutely.
You don't want to cook. I know you.
I got to send some down.
We have a credit.
We've had Boston's actually been a fan of the company from the start, and he dealt with some of the challenges. We actually used a lot of the feedback from Boston to try to perfect our shipping.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. So I want to thank you for that. Publicly.
Nice job, Bostin.
Thank you for all that, really.
All right, I wanted to, I told Bostin I was going to get on. First of all, Bostin, just give a little plug for your forum, because you got your forum on your website. It's very popular. How do people sign up for it? What goes on there?
Yeah, so if people want to sign up, it's www.bigdaddyb.com/members. And basically, it's just anything bodybuilding related, anything. I know you talked about it source-wise, information, anabolic-wise, nutrition. There's a nutrition tab, sources tab, a miscellaneous tab, a training tab. So we go over everything on there. But
do you personally post on there?
I do go on there sometimes, especially, and I make sure the forum's clean. I make sure there's no absolute bullshit on there, so people
Okay.
You know, I'm on there banning people if there's any shit.
Gotcha. Okay, that's a good resource for people who want to join. I wanted to ask people, you know, we go back. I mean, Gregg probably was using, you know, new people that were using anabolics. John, probably you were using anabolics probably back in the 80s. But what was I want to know people's favorite cycle of all time. Okay, I'm going to go one by one. This is a good one for Bostin because I know he's going to have to really think very hard about this. So let me start with John. What was your favorite cycle of all time you did?
Half a Dianabol and half a A-bomb at a time. Half a day each. Dianabol and Anadrol. Sustanon 250, a gram, a cc of that every other day with Tren Ace, another cc of that every other day.
That's a good cycle.
That's a baby cycle for Boston, I know.
Is that a Duchenne cycle?
Well, yeah. Well, Sustanon, Tren, D-ball, and Anadrol. If you don't grow on that, you're not going to.
No, you must have been like a miserable, crazy maniac on that cycle.
It was actually not that bad.
No?
You combine D-ball with Anadrol?
They work better together, so you split,
Yeah, but what was the dose you used on both? If you did that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've tried that, but they destroy my appetite.
You said half a D-ball.
25 milligrams of Anadrol and 25 milligrams of D-ball.
I actually had a company that sent me a capsule that was 25 Anavar, 25 Anadrol, 25 D-ball in the same capsule. Yep. And I liked it. But after a while, your appetite kind of dies. I got to take like some Megastrol or some Periactin for appetite stimulation.
You know, what do you guys think about maybe, you know, and I never tried this back in the day because I never even thought to do it. What about if you took like Anadrol, because I couldn't eat on it either. What about if you took it like maybe 2 or 3 times a week? You guys think that would work better that way? And what?
It's because you guys didn't smoke any weed. If you smoked weed, you had no fucking problem eating.
It just, you know, it didn't kill my appetite. It blunted it. It just made me not want to eat. And
Dave! Dave!
Yes.
Hey!
Dave, I only got a couple of minutes, bro.
Oh,
I got some fucking serious problems over here, brother.
What happened?
I was delivering over this fucking yard. This cocksucker. It just happened. I was taking lunch and I was delivering my last load. All right, this motherfucker. It says on the paper, watch out for dog, right? So a friend of mine says, bring treats. I said, that's a good idea. So I'm banging on the gate, making sure there's no dog. And if I go in the yard with the tree, I had the pepperoni stick in my fucking pocket, right? I open up the fucking gate. I'm making all kinds of noise so the cocksucker, you know, maybe he hears me. I didn't see a dog. All of a sudden, the cocksucker comes out of his doghouse. And I got the pepperoni stick. And I'm going, yo, I'm waving this stick at him. Bro, he attacked me, man. He just fucking went into my arm. I had to look at my arm. Look at this. I had the pepperoni stick. I'm trying to give the cocksucker a fucking pepperoni stick. He got me on the ground. He was dragging me on the fucking ground. I was screaming for the owner. The guy fucking finally came out. He's calling the fucking dog's name Caesar. He's calling the cocksucker. The fucking dog finally goes back. Look at this shit. He got the fucking guy who didn't even want the pepperoni stick, this cocksucker! I'm sick of this! It's fucking snowing! I'm fucking in the rain! I'm getting chewed up alive here! This is fucking horseshit! This was a good jacket! Look at this shit! Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this fucking cocksucker! I'm fucking done with this job! I'm sick of it!
It looks like it's fake leather, Jimmy. What's coming out of it?
But he won't leave.
I fucking had it! John, you have no idea what I go through. You got no idea what I go through. All I want to do is work. Get up in the morning, go do my job, come home. That's all I want to do is work a goddamn job. No, I got to fight goddamn dogs. And people coming after me. Fucking people. I drunk cars in the driveway. I can't even get to the fields. Hopping fucking goddamn fences. I sent Dave a video. I couldn't even get to the guy's fucking field in the back of the house. This is bullshit. I'm done with this fucking shit.
How tall?
Fuck this fucking job.
And he still won't leave.
And it's snowing there, John, on top of that. Yeah.
Dude, you should have thrown one of them Jimmy the Bull kicks at that dog.
Oh, my God.
You know, John, I didn't really get the whole pepperoni stick thing until I realized he had it so that if a dog came out, he could throw the pepperoni stick to the dog.
That's a video. I didn't even think of that. I should have thrown the motherfucker. No, I was holding it like it was my dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here. He comes over and he just fucking lunged at me, bro. He just lunged at me. Started tearing my my shit up. He had my fucking arm. I tripped on the fucking bushes and shit. Fell on the ground. The guy's fucking dragging my arm. I'm yelling for the fucking owner. And the guy opens the door. Caesar! Caesar! I'm like, get Caesar off me, motherfucker! You're fucking kidding me?
Jimmy,
let me ask you a question. Why did you knock on the front door if you saw there was a...
I had the fucking hose. I had to go back and get it.
Now, is the guy going to replace your leather jacket?
I'm fucking pissed, Dave. I was going to call the cops on the cocksucker. He was apologizing 1,000
Well,
times.
is he going to pay you for the...
I said the guy looked like it was one of those training dogs. I said, what if he got my balls? I would have been in a lot of fucking trouble, motherfucker. You're lucky you got my fucking arm, you cocksucker. I tell you what, I called my boss. I said, I'm not even delivering the oil to this house. Fuck this guy and his fucking Caesar. He ain't getting the fucking oil today. I'm done. I'm fucking sick of this fucking guy. Fuck that cocksucker. I know he's going to call up the office. He's going to want to fucking know what happened to his oil.
Look at the smoke coming out of Jimmy's mouth. It's so cold.
Fuck that cocksucker.
No oil for you. That's right, Jimmy. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Well, let me ask you. We lost him. I wanted to ask you. That's it. I guess that's all we get. That was a pretty good rant, I got to tell you.
Oh, man. One of his best. That was one.
You know what? I thought he was making it up, John, at first, until he showed me the sleeve of the jacket.
No, he hit the elbow. I hope you got this. Gold.
We got.
I'm surprised he wasn't punching the fucking thing in the head like this.
Right.
You know?
He didn't want to tell you, but he was probably scared out of his mind. I know Jimmy. He probably. Yeah, no one wants to be attacked by a dog. Thank God he had the leather jacket on. The thing would have ripped his arm off, probably.
Well, I mean, there's a dog and there's a dog. I mean, are we talking a pit bull here, or are we talking a...
John, did you see those bite marks in that jacket? That was a dog.
It was a poodle.
You don't name a dog Caesar unless it's 100+ pounds, you know.
Oh, bullshit. It was probably a fucking poodle. He didn't want to tell you the dog.
Those are big dogs.
He probably fell out of a tree and just made up the story, right?
I'm worried he's going to blow an O-ring and we're going to, you know, he's going to be found in a puddle of ephedrine.
Dave, you should have gave him the speech. You know what? The dogs aren't like that down here.
That's right. No, Greg, the speech is there's no heating oil down here. You wouldn't have to worry about that, you know.
There you go.
But now, as miserable as that experience is for him, just now, you just heard him go freaking off the rocker like that. As bad as he's got it, he won't leave. He'll stay there.
Yeah, you know why? You know why? Because last week he bitched he didn't have a job. Remember, he was saying, "I'm not working right now. I'm coming down there. I'm not working." And now he fucking got another job, so he can't be moving, right?
Only in New York.
Listen, he did this last year. He did it the year before.
I know. I remember.
What, John? Where else do you have to, except New York? Do you have to walk into people's backyards with a freaking hose to fill up their oil while there's dogs out there? I mean, it's absolutely insane. You know.
It's nuts.
The guy's an idiot that let this dog out there. He knew he was getting oil.
Oh, yeah, dude, let me tell you something. I'd shoot him with the fucking oil and light him on fire.
That's out in Suffolk County.
Hey, how about this? He can't be too tame if he lives in a doghouse. He's not a house-trained dog, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the dog didn't come out of the house. Came out of his doghouse.
Right. Yeah. Jimmy should have a stun gun with him. You know, one of those little zappers?
No, you know what he should have is like a fucking little torch lighter so that he can take that hose and just light the lighter.
No, because you don't want to kill the dog. You want to just disable it. You got to have a stun gun here.
Flamethrower.
You guys are barbaric. Holy mackerel.
Bullshit. You know what I would do? I would fucking hit him in the head with a bat and then bring him to Carlo and have him cook it up like chicken.
That's not nice. Yeah. Don't involve Carlo.
Hey, there you go. Instead
got to go to the Japanese places. They do that kind of stuff.
All right, getting back to cycles. What do you guys think about taking orals like maybe only like 3 days a week?
No, bro, I took fucking a bottle of test on Monday, a bottle of test on, you already know, bottle of test on Monday, bottle of test on Tuesday, and a bottle of test on Friday.
Wasn't it test probe?
Yes, and it was 200 listen, it was Steris. 200 milligrams, 10 cc's, so that's 2,000 milligrams.
Hold on, I thought wait a minute. I thought the propionate was 100 milligrams per ml, Greg.
It was 50.
What happened?
It was 100 milligrams per ml.
There was 100 milligram propionate. There was a 200 milligram propionate.
There was?
We got both.
Really?
There's even a 50 milligram probe.
I didn't know there was a 200.
Huh?
200 milligram probe sounds painful.
You told me it was 50. That was, you added up all the oil, and that's why it was taken.
No,
that was the EQ, John.
EQ.
Oh, okay.
So you took 2,000. Hold on, Greg. So you took 2,000 milligrams of propionate in one shot every 3 times a week?
Yes.
Oh.
I took 2. I opened up a bottle, and my mindset is, why leave anything in the bottle?
That's 6 grams. Bostin,
I was a drug
does that
dealer.
beat you?
At that high a test, did your sex drive die?
No, it didn't die. The other thing is, too, I took Sten, which fucking made me horny, and my favorite fucking drug, oral-wise, was Dianabol, Polish D-balls. I tell you guys about that. Them little orange strips. Oh, my God.
How many would you do with those?
Huh?
How many of those did you take at a time?
I probably took like 5 a day.
Okay.
I did a lot of shit. Then I would snap in. I would splash in a little fucking Sustanon, Russian Sustanon, too. I would smack in that. So, test-wise, I was probably up there. You know?
Were you taking 10 grams of gear a week?
I might have, yeah. I didn't add it up as much. I just went by bottles. If I had the bottle, I'm going to empty it. You know what I mean? I did that.
But the difference was he wasn't absorbing it all because it was just sitting in his arms. So he really wasn't getting that dosage.
I tell everybody, I had time-release juice. You know what I mean? I stopped after, getting arrested and this, and it stopped doing it. For like 2-3 years, that shit was still in me. You know what I mean?
How long did it take for the necrosis to get infected and you had to have that drain thing, and where you took the video of you pulling the syringes of?
That was a hematoma. See, they mixed 2 stories together. That was being hit with a bat. That was a hematoma. I drained blood. The other arm was because I was fucking sticking a needle right into the bicep, right? And I was reusing needles. I told you guys that story before.
Yeah.
I had crates of fucking needles. I mean, they
told us 10
came
minutes
in
ago,
white shoe boxes, right? And instead of being a fucking, I was being like, fucking stupid. I was being cheap. I wouldn't want to open up one of them boxes. I would reuse the same needle. So if you look at that video of me, you'll see the fucking needles all bent like a fish hook and shit.
Oh, shit.
I reuse needles too, so that's all good.
Well, you and I have a lot in common.
Don't listen to what anyone says in this show. John, you were supposed to come out with your own needles. Whatever happened to that project?
Rick Collins advised me that I should probably not do that.
Oh. That's a good person's advice to take, that's for sure. All right, so Greg, we know that's your favorite cycle. What's your favorite cycle, Mr. G, of all time?
Wait, can I stick my 2 sentences?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
About Rick Collins?
Yeah.
Rick Collins is a good friend of mine. I know Rick Collins before he was a lawyer. Did you know that Rick Collins filmed? He was in Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. I was just going to say that, Greg.
And he filmed it in my gym.
Oh, they did? I didn't know that.
Ask him.
That movie is sick. That's a sick movie.
Well, he was in the sequel, which he had a bigger part in. He had a bigger part in the sequel, actually.
Yes. Him and the whole crew trained at my gym every day, every fucking day. My gym's actually, I think, in the Toxic Avenger 2. If you look at the credits, you'll see Peak Skill Fitness Center, Peak Skill, New York.
Oh, that's funny.
They trained every day at my gym. And, I knew Rick very well. He used to come in there all the time. He wasn't even a lawyer back then. But people don't even know that he's one of the main guys in the movie The Toxic Avenger.
They're supposed to bring it back. I think they were bringing it back. I don't know if Rick's going to get a little role in that or not. I wonder.
Isn't that funny?
That's a hard movie to watch. I put that movie on. I had a whole bunch of people over my house.
Yeah.
Like, watch this movie. And they got scared.
Well, it's like it's a real B movie.
Yeah, but people didn't realize that. People that know him now, they only think he's a lawyer and everything like that. But he's the bodybuilder, and he was a Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
That was like a XXX horror movie.
It was great. Dude. The whole cast would go there.
Yeah.
They were crazy. The whole fucking cast. Every day they were at my gym.
That's great. Mr. G, what's your favorite cycle of all time?
Anadrol, like 5. I think I used to take like 5 or 8 a day.
What? That was like the Mahalik cycle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just really didn't follow anything. Just thought more was better. But Anadrol got me really strong.
250 mgs of Anadrol?
Huh?
250 mgs. There were 50 mgs each.
Yeah, I think.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they were the old Steris one. Not Steris. Was that who?
Yeah.
No, who made
They had all
Syntax?
real stuff.
Syntax.
Back then, they had all real stuff from the regular.
The Syntax ones from the. They used to buy from the pharmacy, Boston, back then.
I know, but 250 mgs of Anadrol. Holy fuck!
How did you
Or
eat?
they would get Anapolin or Hemogenin. I know, I sold them both, bro. Anapolin or Hemogen.
Right.
Well, plus I ate 18,000 calories.
How did you eat with the Anadrols? Didn't your appetite suffer?
No, I mean, my first meal was a dozen buttered rolls.
That was the Mahalik pre-workout meal, right?
No, that wasn't even the pre-workout. First, I wake up a dozen buttered rolls and half hour
A
later,
dozen.
6 buttered rolls and six bananas and a can of pineapples in a blender before I trained.
Did you eat any protein at all back then?
How did you get 18,000 calories a day? In
Mahalik called him the White Buffalo, right?
Yeah, I went from 220 pounds to 300 in in about 15 weeks, 20 weeks.
Were you fat or were you muscular at that weight?
No, I was muscular. I was strong. I was, I got ligaments like Jimmy. I used to do curls with like 320.
Wow.
I would heave them up, but still my ligaments and tendons could handle them.
Attaboy, Georgie.
John, Mr. G and Mahalik together were like, that was like the lighter fluid that would ignite the fire, because he would do anything Mahalik would say, and Mahalik would probably try to think up things to take this kid out, and he couldn't, because there's nothing that Mr. G would not do if you told him to do it, right?
No, I was...
Story about the pothole? That is hysterical. Where you had a fake
with Andy Lopadotti.
Or what was it? Manhole cover. What was
He had Channel 12 News come and film us, because that's when he was on his kick natural bodybuilding. He goes, look at this natural bodybuilding guy, and I'm doing curls with 100-pound dumbbells. Carlo Silver.
But didn't he make him like fake fall into a manhole or something?
That was Andy Lopadotti. Used to do that.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That was Lopadotti. Yeah.
That was Lopadotti.
Lopadotti used to make him he would tell him, lay down, make believe you're hurt. And then he would call the ambulance and shit, because he wanted to get insurance money.
Yeah.
He wanted to fuck over the fuck. Dude, I was friends with Andy Lopadotti, and I know fucking Mahalik from back then too. He used to talk shit about me all the time because, you remember in the movie, that TLC show with me?
Yeah.
He was on there, oh, this guy's, crazy and all this other shit. Meanwhile, I followed his whole protocol because of John Defendis from 1970.
Yeah.
I've been friends with Johnny D since the 1970s, you know what I mean? And, Defendis used to tell me the sickest stories, he would put the best one is the one where we grab him out and they bring him down to the ocean, and he would hold Defendis' head in the water until Defendis said, literally another second or two, I would have drowned him. And then he'd lift his head up and say, you see that feeling that you got? You needed to survive. That's what you need to bring that feeling in the gym. And Defendis said it. One time he turned around and swung at him because he's like, dude, you don't have to fucking hold my head underwater, to try to get a point across about working out, But that's the way Mahalik was. But look how Mahalik killed himself, right? He goes in, ex-wife, kids are fucking eating fucking dinner and shit, walks up to the wife and says, I'm going to show you something that you're never going to forget. Puts the gun to his head, pop, like this in front of his fucking wife. Because he was a selfish prick.
Yeah.
He really was.
Why did he do that?
That's how he died?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had health problems, though. I think
Dude,
that's why he did it.
I knew Bruce Nadler. Same shit. Fucking, what? He was
But it was his wife, right?
He went in. He fucking said to his wife, come here, I got to talk to you. She walked in the room. He shot her in the head. And then he put the gun to his head. He said, he tried to make it like it was a love suicide. And his own son, Bob Bonham, was at the funeral. And his own son was like, you know what? Fuck my father, that piece of shit. Because, he killed his mother. You want to kill yourself. But you don't kill your mother. And listen, I knew Nadler personally. He was out there, bro. You wouldn't want him operating on you. Everybody I know, my ex-partner used to have calf implants. They would drop down to his ankles. You'd have to get that shit fixed.
Didn't he write for MD?
What's that? Yeah, he did. He wrote for MD, but he was bad though. Even it's Carlo. It's funny you say that because Steve Bleckman used to say to me, because I got that hole in the bicep, and I was with Nadler, and he says I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna spackle it, like spackling, which I never liked the fucking idea. No. He was gonna create.
What was he gonna spackle it with? Test propionate for you?
I don't know, dude. I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean? He was gonna make like this little plug thing and put it in there, and anyway, so Steve Bleckman goes to me, don't go to him, and I go, what do you mean? Because I know Nadler and everything. He goes to me, you don't know about him? Oh yeah, he's not a plastic surgeon. He's a fucking ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Yeah, he's right. He was right. Yeah.
He wasn't board certified.
Blackman used to tell me that he took the lipomas off my arm. He took the lipomas off my arm. You ever hear that story, John?
Blackman told me a different story about the murder-suicide.
Oh.
Now, he told me that Nadler and his wife had made some real estate investments that had gone bad, and they lost all their money.
Right.
And it broke their heart, and so they made this. They wanted to both. They were both in on it. But he said they were shot in the heart, not the head, Greg.
You know what? My sister worked she used to run the laser hair removal clinic at his office, and she knew a lot of the girls there. I think Greg's right. My sister gave me the same version Greg gave me.
Wow.
No, I'm telling you. You know what's funny? I got the version from Nadler's son. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, it was no murder. It was no murder-suicide. It was murder. I mean, it was a murder-suicide.
It wasn't a pact. It wasn't a suicide pact.
Right. Yeah. It was no pact. She had no idea.
Guys, I just want to apologize, Greg. I'm sorry, everybody. I just want to apologize. I went a little nuts before. I'm having a bad fucking day. I love everybody. I don't mean to go nuts, but that fucking dog just attacked me, and I fucking had it. You know what I'm saying? Now I got no goddamn jacket. I got to wear sweatshirts.
How come you didn't make the guy replace your jacket?
I'm gonna call the office now when I get back, because I was gonna actually drive back and just fucking give him back my fucking hose and call it quits. I didn't sign up for this shit, man. I gotta jump fences. I gotta jump over abandoned cars. The place is horrible. It's I don't know how. I got all new found respect for oil guys, man. This is a fucked up job.
John, say it. Go ahead, John. Say it.
Fucked up.
But you're gonna stay there, Jimmy. You're gonna keep doing it. You ain't leaving. You're gonna stay there and keep pulling that hose. You're not going anywhere.
Listen, I'm a slave to the fucking money, bro. You know what I mean? It's the old story. You know what I mean? I gotta get up. I gotta chase the dollar, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't. What am I gonna do?
You can't chase a dollar in a warm climate.
There's no dogs down here that attack you because there's no oil heating.
He's coming down there in the next 6 months.
Look at this fucking shit. I gotta use bazookas to fucking fill up these people's tanks.
So Jimmy's hustle is only legit because he's doing it in the fucking snow.
That's right. Right.
Is that it?
All right. Let's go, Boston. Let's go to you. What was your favorite cycle?
How are you? How's everything? All right. You too. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Looking at my bushes.
Boston, favorite cycle of all time.
Yeah, so favorite cycle, I would have to go with my recomp cycle. Obviously, there's so many cycles that I like, but 1.5 grams a test, 900 EQ, 450 tren, and 50 mgs of anadrol every day.
Wow, that's not that extreme compared to some of the stuff you've done.
Wait, what's every day?
Anadrol.
No, so it's about that cycle comes out to 400 mgs test every other day, 150 tren every other day, 300 EQ every other day, and 50 mgs of anadrol every day.
It's not bad.
Did that kill your appetite?
Well, I started placing. I learned this from Chad Nichols. I started placing the anadrol with my last meal of the day because it's an oral with a longer half-life. So I would take it after my last meal of the day so it doesn't mess with my digestion. And usually if I'm on an oral, I try to get some type of appetite stimulation with either MK677, Megastrol, or Periactin.
Right. And the Periactin didn't make you tired?
It did in the beginning. I got the liquid syrup from the pharmacy. It's like it's 2 mgs per 5 ml. I take it 3 times a day, and it does make you tired at first, but nothing made me more tired than those damn beta blockers, but you get used to it.
I don't know anyone who ever got through the Periactin the first 2 weeks of the tiredness. Everyone stopped.
You know what? Periactin works the least amount for me as far as appetite. The best one for me is the Megastrel.
Oh, that's kind of like a progesterone derivative, yeah.
Smoking weed is way better.
It sounds like it's more enjoyable.
Dominican D-ball used to have Periactin in it.
Oh, they did?
So if you took a lot of D-ball, you were fucked. You know, anabolics.
I didn't know that. They had Periactin in it?
Yeah, cyperheptadine, which is a Periactin.
Wow, I learned something.
You didn't know that? When you bought Anabolics, it had that in it.
I never used that, but yeah, I didn't know. I heard of the drug. I just never had used it. Yeah.
You know why? You know why they had it in it?
Why?
Because back then, they would give it to. That's why fucking Dominican chicks and shit, when they were young, to get hairy, because anytime they would give, like if you had dysentery, bad diarrhea, vomiting, really sick, that was what that was designed for. That medicine, they would give it out. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And dude, you know what you could buy? We were buying them for $2.
Right.
$2 for 100.
Oh my God.
And then we were selling that shit for 50. It was like that. It was cheap.
I didn't know that.
But it had that in there because they wanted stimulate your appetite.
Right.
Slow down your metabolism, and then you get the hormone helped you to come back and retain proteins. That's what it said.
It's interesting that in other countries they don't, or other places they have no problem like prescribing this stuff, and here it's like God forbid, it's like you're taking the devil's formula,
Yeah, but you're giving it.
I got a question for
kids and girls.
Yeah.
Kids and girls took that shit.
That's crazy.
I got a question for Boston. At what body weight was your cycle?
I'm like at that weight. I'm like, so that's like my favorite recomp cycle. Like if I'm getting into, like I was like a lean 270 on that, a decently lean 270.
That's pretty huge, dude, for that.
Yeah, but I'm 6'2", so I'm tall.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if anybody would say, well, wow, that sounds like a lot of gear, but yeah, you're almost 300 fucking pounds. So yeah, I don't think that's. I mean, for a guy like my size, yeah, that's a lot of fucking gear.
So at 5'6", I was 278.
My favorite cycle was 250, 1,000 milligrams of test a week.
Test what?
Cipper and Anthate was my favorite because the propionate used to hurt. I used to get really sore from it. Even Sustanon, I would get a little sore from too, just because it had some propionate in it. Yeah. So I like Cipper and Anthate. I love EQ, 400 to 600 milligrams of that. I like Tren. I have to admit, I did like Tren. I didn't use a lot. I used probably 50 milligrams 3 times a week. That probably would be my favorite, off-season cycle right there. I didn't do orals. Initially in my beginning part of my career, I couldn't do androgens. I used to do D-balls. I would probably do like 30 milligrams per day because if I did more than that, it would kill my appetite. And of course, I like three IUs of GH. It was perfect. Seemed to work really well. I've tried up to 4 or 5, but I found that 3 was a good compromise, and I just would stay on it, basically almost year round. And I felt it worked better if you took smaller amounts longer term rather than bigger amounts short term. I felt like I had no side effects.
You ever tried Dianabol? The EQ, I love.
Yeah, well, that's what I used originally, the Dianabol. That was all there was. Really.
I love Dianabol.
Or the original, how about the original Equipoise that was 50 milligrams?
I was arrested with the original Equipoise.
Oh, you were?
A little green cow on the bottle.
I'll tell you what. I know in Boston you like to collect drugs. The best drugs to collect. If you had a bottle of Winstrol V, it was like 30 or 50 mLs. It was pharmacy. It said Winstrol V.
I do have that. I have a Winstrol 50 ml from Upjohn that I got like 4 years ago that I haven't touched.
Does it say V?
I also have a big 50 ml jug of veterinarian EQ that's 50 mg per ml.
And that says Equipoise on it?
Yeah, it's EQ.
Yeah, those are like
the yellow label.
Oh, I love it.
Yellow label.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I forgot what the label is, but the actual EQ is super yellow itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I had that. I was arrested. It's the shit I was arrested with, but I loved with that. I sold that shit because I love the Dianabol, man. The Dianabol is something about that Dianabol that was.
What's that?
I'm like
that was EQ.
Like
it was EQ.
Guys.
Dominican Equipoise. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Boston, you never saw it? It comes in a green label with like a red cow on it?
He wasn't born yet, Greg.
How many mgs per ampule?
You know what? One of the most underrated drugs.
Ampule. It was a big jug. You get a 50 cc jug like this.
How many
like
mgs per ml?
50 mgs. And
you'd have to shoot a hell of it, a lot of it.
Bro, I shot the whole fucking in 1 week. I would go
Holy shit!
I'll tell you what. The best, most underrated drug, because Dianabol is a great drug to grow, but you couldn't eat if you took too many of them. But the best drug, injectable Dianabol. I've said it before. I loved it. Didn't kill my appetite, and I grew like a weed on it. I got bloated on it, but I grew like a weed on that stuff.
I think you're forgetting something. Do you guys remember? And you reminded me in my cycle. My favorite cycles were nothing like what you guys did.
Yeah, I was going to ask you next, by the way. But yeah.
So what about Powerball? You guys talked about it the other day.
Well, that was like Trembolone, yeah. But you're right. Powerball was great.
So, but the old Powerball was, I thought, better than the Trembolone. I didn't think you got the same side effects with Powerball.
You did. You did.
That was that long ester that had hex.
I loved it. My favorite thing was I would do about 400 milligrams of SIP, 300 milligrams of propionate, and about 150 of Powerball. And I didn't take a lot. I never took a lot of gear.
No one took more than 2 of those vials. You're right. That was it.
Yeah, and that was, so when I did my cycles, I got ready for the shows about 12 weeks out, 16 weeks out. So I would start my cycles about 16 weeks out. Off season, I would just stay clean. I would do nothing.
Wow, yeah. That was a typical 90s cycle, what you just said.
Yeah. But I carried that on into the 2000s, even when I turned pro.
Right.
Like, I remember, if you want to call them maintenance cycles, I didn't start that until 2005 after I actually placed 3rd at the Nationals. And then I was a pro by 2007 and I was done.
Yeah, no. But you also were a lightweight too, so you didn't really have to gain an enormous amount of size,
I got up to 206 pounds at 5'3".
I remember.
So anytime I did a lot of drugs, I would just blow up because I didn't do a lot. So like at 700 milligrams or 700 or 800 milligrams of test a week, and a couple of 100 milligrams of either the Powerball and the Tren after that, and then the Primobolins too. I used to love to mix the Primobolin and the Powerball in the test, and I would just blow up. And I always ate very clean, and I was lean all year round. So I was like, the reason I even attempted a pro card is because I don't know. I think I told you the story. Yeah. Dave, Greg, you probably know the story. Ronnie Coleman came into my restaurant, and it was July. I was competing in November.
I was there.
You were there for that, I think, right? He goes,
yes.
When's your show? And I said, in November. He said, what are you so lean for? I said, well, I like to stay lean all year round. That was about 185 pounds at the time. And he goes, let me see how you look. So, I stripped down for him. He goes, you can compete right now. I wound up going into, remember the physique, Dave, the physique championships?
Yep.
I wound up going into the physique championships less than 8 days later and winning the show.
That's funny.
as a middleweight, weighing about 168 pounds, 169. So I dropped some water and went into the show and won it. But anytime I did anything close to 1,000 milligrams or 800 milligrams of test, I grew like a weed. And honestly, I felt like shit. When I was 205 pounds, I was so heavy and so short that I literally couldn't walk. I could forget about clothes. I looked like I was wearing like my grandfather's pants, like.
Well, you had to wear your apron from the restaurant. That's all you could do.
Hey, Dave, I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you a question. Did you? Because I sold injectable D-ball, and I took it, and it's actually one of the things that got me an infection in my arm. But I hated that shit.
I'll tell you why you didn't like it. I'm going to tell you why. Because you used to sell the D-ball that had the B vitamins in it.
Reforbit B.
And think about it. They're mixing water-soluble vitamins into an oil with Dianabol. I think it left you open to infections more because it would irritate the tissue.
Plus, the bacteria grows in water. It's so much easier than oil.
Yeah.
You felt like shit. Taking that.
Too many vitamins in there. The vitamins got you nauseous. I'm telling you.
Bro, it looked like antifreeze going into the syringe. I would draw that shit out.
Do you remember when Dankel came out?
Yeah.
Dankel brand. It was made in Mexico, but they said it was they had like the what's it called? The
Dankel, yeah, I remember.
They had the kangaroo on there from Australia. But they had an injectable D-ball that was so pure. It was so good. It was 25 milligrams per ml. Boston, you would have used the whole bottle of it. I used 1 cc every other day. I got so strong on that stuff. I grew so well. I used to combine it. They also had methangyl dipropionate. They had a 10 cc bottle of that. I would take the two of those together, and methangyl was supposed to sensitize your androgen receptors. I don't know if it did or not, but I'm telling you, those two worked great together. Really good.
Dave, if you were around your house and all of a sudden you saw like a bunch of shit lying around or whatever, that from back in the day, would you be tempted?
What, now? No.
Yeah.
No, because I don't want to die now. But believe me, I got it out of my system. Boston, I used to have like I know you have the same thing. I had a drawer with like classic pieces. I would find like a bottle of Winchell V. I'd find methangyl dipropionate or Dry from. I wouldn't even use it. I would just put it in the drawer just to see I had it there.
That's how I am. All my farm grade stuff, I don't touch. I hog.
Yeah.
And then I use all the shit that I'm iffy about. It's really a fucked up mentality.
Yeah, it's like in case they stop making steroids, you have a whole supply of it there, right?
In case they stop making steroids, you still have all like the good stuff.
That's right. That's right. No one else will have anything except Bostin Loyd, right?
I did the same thing. I sold the fucking shit, that I was like, American equipoise, fuck that. I'm going to keep the Dianabols for me, and I'll sell the...
Only Gregg kept the Mexican stuff, John, and sold the good stuff.
No.
What I used to do when would run a batch is every time you run one through the filter, okay, you put the next bag on there after you're done, and then what you got to run out of the tube, and so by the time you get to clear the tube out, you're getting the new, whatever the new thing is you're pushing through the filter. So if you just get done pushing, Trend through there, and I'm going to do Deca next, the first couple of pumps have come out of there. It's not all the way, the Trend isn't all the way out of the system yet. So I'm collecting that in a beaker over here on this side. And I'd keep that same beaker. So every one I'd run through, I'd run that beaker. So by the end of the run, I got this beaker full of a little of everything. And I'd bottle that up, and that's the shit I would use.
What, John? What was the name of that stuff? That I don't know if Duchesne made it. They were weren't there like mixtures of stuff back in the 80s or 90s?
Yeah, he always would recommend making the.
No, not making your own. They actually sold it. That's right. What was it called, Gregg?
Balasterone.
Who made that, John?
That's my dad's favorite drug.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Who made it?
I was talking with Patrick Arnold, who was telling me that's one of the drugs that they resurrected to give with Barry Bonds and all that shit.
Oh, really?
Because,
I just remember back in the day when they were using Balasterone, you had to shoot it with like a 14 gauge needle.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is, though? You know what it is? They looked at, because the fucking when they would test guys, that was under the radar because they stopped making it.
No, but I'm talking about the stuff, Gregg, where they made a mixture of stuff and they would actually sell it as a mixture of stuff. I don't know.
I knew stuff that was. There was a drug going around Gold's Gym in the early '80s, and it was something. It was a testosterone that had progesterone in it. Believe it or not, a small amount of progesterone.
Yeah.
And they were saying that shit. That's before my time of taking drugs. But the guys I knew that were on it told me that the progesterone mixed with the testosterone gave them the most incredible pump.
I'm sure.
I forgot the name of it. I also used to get some other drug, Trinestrol, that was from Brazil. It was a mixture of shit. There was a bunch of things. Look at Sten. I loved Sten. That shit made me hard, big. I fucking got the wickedest sex drive from that shit. You know what I mean? That's where you're ready to fuck a dirt hole. You know what I mean?
And that was and that stuff was really cheap. What?
I have that Sten stuff in my closet. I never used it though. Somebody sent it to me. Is it good shit?
I think it's.
I love it.
Isn't it like cypionate, propionate, and DHEA?
It's almost like a fucking weird Sustanon blend, but it's very.
I thought it's cypionate, propionate, and DHEA, the adrenal.
Yes, DHEA's in it. Yep.
But I think it's cyp and prop in there too.
There used to be an argument because the DHEA people thought there was DHT.
Right, it wasn't DHT, yeah.
It wasn't DHT, it was DHEA.
Right.
But it did something. When I took it, it fucking melted body fat. Now, that's for me, and this is, you got to remember, we're talking the 90s now. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the hell is out there now. But when I took it, Holy shit. Hard-ons, fucking ripped and muscle. You can't get better than that, right?
All right. Best GH you ever used, John?
John's not in his chair.
Oh, we lost John?
I never did GH, so that's
I know you know. Boston, what's your favorite GH of all time?
I like the ones that I'm on now. They're called Genova. I actually had tested them on your Palumbo kits.
Oh.
And they actually tested like the HPLC tested at 12 IUs per IU. They're called Genova. JONOVA. They're actually on my forum too. Oh. Now, my dad used GH for a little bit, and it was called Crest Corman. Did you guys ever?
That's the cadaver one. That's the cadaver growth hormone. I heard it was very strong, though.
My dad said his roommate grew 2 inches on it.
Yeah, there were guys who used to say that shit back then.
It was super potent. What they would do is they would get the pituitary of dead humans and they would grind it up and they would actually isolate the GH out of it. But for some reason, and I knew a guy from New Orleans, his dad was a doctor who collected it. He had it in the freezer, and this guy told me he took it. I'm not going to say what it is, but he's not with us anymore anyway. And he said he was growing muscles and weird bones were growing, and he was getting crazy results from the stuff.
Yeah, look at Chris Dickerson's elbows. And guys used to get that Crutchfield rise or whatever the fuck it was called.
Jacob Crutchfield syndrome was a prion disease that you can get from it. And not a lot of people got it, but that's why they stopped making it and they started making the synthetic form.
That's what happened to Alzado. Everybody thinks
that's what killed him, right?
I heard it was expensive too.
Yeah.
That's what gave Alzado his central.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
You know what though, John, you and I both, I was there with Alzado. We were all at the same era.
I trained with him for 2 years.
I knew guys, Paulie DeMeo was one of them, who used to tell me Alzado died. He believed that Alzado had AIDS, and he had that fucking one that attacked him.
I trained with him for 2 years, and I interviewed the doctor.
What did he die from?
What he had a central nervous system lymphoma that he got. It was kind of like a prion disease, but he contracted from the Crest hormone, the GH from cadavers.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Dude, I was there too. I was there when he flipped out, dude. You remember? I was there when he went into Gold's Gym and the fucking Barbarian brothers ran out the back door because he told them, they were all buddies, and he told them, listen, you can stay at my house, watch my house. I'm going over to Europe. I'm going to come back in like 2 weeks. And they had parties in his house every fucking day. And they wrecked his fucking house. Oh. He came back. And they ran out the back door. Fucking Gronkowski had to hold him back. And Gronkowski banned the Barbarian brothers for 6 months to let fucking Lyle Alzado calm down and get it out of his system.
During that time,
I was there.
During that time, I was training with him. During that time, there was a guy doing leg extensions, and we were training legs. He wanted to do leg extensions. He goes, this little, kind of scrawny guy doing leg extensions. And the Galzado says, how many more you got in there? And the guy says, when I'm done.
Oh, boy.
Next thing you know, this fucking bag of bones is flying through the air. He lands in a heap. Turns out the guy was an attorney. And he got like 35 grand out of him.
Oh, he did?
Hey, wait. I got one for Dave. Dave will appreciate this.
All right.
Dave, I probably told you this already, but I was 15 years old. I was training at the White Plains YMCA.
Oh, Charlie
I'm
Arms.
over there. You know the pulleys off the wall?
Yeah.
Like this. You take the pulley and you do this shit. Well, I was trying to do triceps, so I'm over there, and I'm doing a pulley off the wall, and this big monster comes over, and it was Charlie Arms, right? This is when Charlie Arms was young. He had the big handlebar mustache, the long black hair, and fucking like 23, 24-inch arms back in like 1975. And he said to me, hey, come on, let's go. Get off there. Let's go. I gotta use that machine. Let's go. Come on. You're done. Put it down. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, oh, shit. I was like 15 years old. So I put the weight down. Later on, I'm on a bench, and I'm curling with like a 35-pound dumbbell, right? And he goes, no, go find another dumbbell. Let's go. I need that. Put it down. Stop fucking around. Get up. Let's go. Get up.
You aren't going to punch him in the balls, that's for sure.
No, I was scared shithead, bro. You knew he was a maniac. You know what I mean? He chased me off the machines. I felt like, like when you go in a machine in a gym and there's some young kid and he's sitting around on the equipment. You're like, come on, bro. Get up. I need that bench or whatever. But he was like nasty about it. I'm a young kid and he's going, hey, let's go. Come on. You're done. You're done. That's enough. Put it down. Let's go. I need that dumbbell. Come on, get out of here.
Oh, man.
Was Charlie up.
Kick-started Harley with his arm.
Yeah, he kick-started with his arm. John, what was your favorite GH you ever used?
Probably the Lily one.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Lily. Eli Lilly, Humatrope.
Genentech Lily was better. I liked Lily.
It was more expensive. Maybe that's why I thought it was better.
One day I was in the 80s. I'm at this beach in just outside of Puerto Vallarta, this deserted little beach in Mexico, and there's this guy with one of those fucking giant phones that they're satellite block phones that they had back in then, whatever.
I remember that.
And he hangs it up. And the guy's fucking stoned. He's wearing a freaking Hawaiian shirt, shorts, no shoes, sitting in the sand with this big phone. And I said hi to him, and he goes, "Hey man, you got any money?" And I thought he was panhandling. And I go, "No." He goes, "No, man, to invest. Buy this company called Genentech. They just got the patent on growth hormone or whatever for growth hormone." He says, the stock's going to go up to the roof. I go, yeah. And I walk away. I thought this guy was out of his fucking mind.
Right.
Of course, true to form, a few weeks later.
you would have made a fortune on that one.
Thought I would have, man.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's the old saying.
That was probably Steve Carroll walking around with that big phone. He probably still has that fucking phone.
Yeah, he does.
Exactly. He fucking walk around with that phone on his hip and shit.
We had to eat with a clip. It would hang off.
Not a clip off his belt. I'm gonna call Jimmy. Let me call Jimmy Mannion. And he had a big fucking phone. It was like a block like this. Like, yeah, Jimmy. Like that. I mean, you remember that shit? It would hang. It would fucking be pulling his pants on one side, for Christ's sake. I hate him.
Amen to that. Bostin, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, if you want to join Bostin's forum, it's on his website, and we'll put the link below. Greg, thank you for the great stories. John as well. Mr. G, what's the latest at Mr. Potts over there? Did we lose him?
Mr. Potts, the latest is I got that thing that you spoke about.
Oh, you do? Okay, we'll keep that a secret for now. Keep that a secret.
Actually, I'm not gonna. We got two new stuffed cookies that I'm coming out with.
Oh, can you send me some keto? Not keto. The keto and the jumbo lights.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Yeah. All right. I'm doing that today.
Can you send me some of the peanut butter cup, the white chocolate peanut butter cup?
You mean these things right here?
Yes.
Those are mine.
Those are the best things you made.
I'm sending, and guys, I'm sending you guys out the 2 new flavors of Amino Evolved because they are absolutely delicious. If you like iced tea, I swear to you, this is the best. You would think there's sugar in here. It's just amino acids and a flavoring system. You will never stop drinking this all day long. So I'm going to send that out to all you guys.
Next order.
Yeah, I'll add it onto your order, Boston. But I'm going to send Mr. G and all these guys. So Amanda just yelled. She said it's already been sent out to you guys. So let me know how you like it. Amino Evolved.
Hey, Boston, I hope you feel better, buddy.
Thank you, man. I feel fine. Honestly, I'm gonna go draw blood right now. Actually.
Yeah, let us know what the creatinine and all that stuff comes out at. I think you're going to be okay because I think
I mean, Dave, I have no appetite. That's about it. That's the only thing that I feel.
You never have an appetite though.
Huh?
You never have an appetite though.
No, I when I'm healthy I do, but I mean, like I said, Dave, I already talked to somebody. I don't know if I told you, but I sent you that email. That kid got full recovery, but it took 5 months.
Yeah, well, you know what? The kidneys regenerate, but they take a lot longer than the liver does. The liver regenerates quickly.
Can he take anything, Dave? Is there any supplement that he could take, like Live 52?
I'm taking a bunch of shit. I'm taking
the kidney stuff I sell.
I got stem cells coming in. I'm on injectable NAC. I mean, I'm doing everything I can. I'm on BPC 157, TB 500. I mean, I'm taking all the precautions to hopefully get some.
Greg, he took a peptide that was toxic to his kidneys. He didn't know it, and that's what really damaged them. So hopefully, you know, his kidneys will recover, but they do take a longer time to regenerate. When I got guys on kidney stuff and I'm trying to help guys with the creatinine levels, usually, like you said, it takes 5 to 6 months for that to come back to normal. Whereas with liver function, it seems to recover in a month or two, you know, much quicker.
So that kid that I sent you, he had 85%. He had 85% kidney function.
Right.
And after 45 days at 2 milligrams of that stuff, his kidney function went all the way down to 26%.
Yeah.
And then 5 months later, after it slowly but surely got better, and it took 5 months for him to fully recover. So we'll
tell
see.
people what the peptide is so no one else does it, please.
FTTP.
Don't take that stuff. It does not do nice things to your body.
You researched it too a little bit, right?
What is it?
You said you researched it too a little bit.
Oh, I was going to do a video. I actually talked about it. Because on paper it sounds great, but it has a lot of toxic effects.
What is it, Dave? What is the peptide?
It's a peptide that supposedly kills fat cells, but it also kills your kidney cells too, and other cells.
Are a lot of people selling that stuff?
I'll never ever recommend that shit ever.
It's online. Yeah, they have it online. It's dangerous.
I'll never ever recommend that shit to anyone, but that shit worked. It actually did work. So I'll be honest, it did work.
Yeah. Well, at what expense?
Yeah, well, isn't there something?
It kills fat cells and it kills all the other cells in your body too. Not a good. That doesn't seem like a good compromise to me.
It kills everything.
Yeah. Not good.
Boston, you're big enough now, as I would say, as it is. You already have all the muscle. You're a pro bodybuilder, right?
Well, yeah, size is not my goal now. I just want to get lean now.
He likes to experiment. He likes to experiment, George, to see how things work.
I use this thing now. The
he can't inject that. He wouldn't use it, George. It's not that glamorous.
Listen, hold on. This is like GH. My strength went up 30%.
I take EPO for that shit.
Yeah, if you have an injectable form of it, he'll try it, George. If not, don't even bother.
Hey, there's no natural kidney shit that you make.
Yeah, I sell on my Dave Palumbo site kidney stuff.
I use Dave's stuff. Unfortunately, when you're in stage 5 kidney failure, those stuff are not going to bring you back. It's just a matter of letting the body recover.
It's also, you got to use everything. You got to just give it time, like Boston says. You got to keep your protein a little lower so the kidneys are not under stress. Keep your blood pressure in check, and just let his kidneys recover.
For preventative maintenance, you take the kidney supplement.
You could. I have a lot of guys do it at least a couple times a year just to clean their kidneys out. But some guys take it year-round.
I was on Dave's kidney stuff during that experiment, but obviously that shit would just ate everything alive. I mean, I was really bad on that.
Look, it's like DNP. There's dangerous drugs out there. That Boston, unfortunately, is using himself as a guinea pig, but he found out the hard way that they're very dangerous. And that's a drug, a peptide you should not take because there is some serious side effects that can destroy, not only your kidneys, probably, I would imagine, other organs and tissues in your body as well. So luckily you didn't take it that long.
I'd like to see Boston go totally natural. Completely off everything, go natural.
I'll tell you what, man, if my blood work doesn't improve and I still continue to have this morning anxiety that I get morning anxiety and then it dies out later in the day. But if I get my blood work done and I don't see any improvement, I'm going to go down to like 100 mgs of testosterone TRT a week, and that's it.
And we'll send Mr. G down there to train you and motivate you. So that'll be it.
He needs a jumbo Palumbo cookie.
There you go. Send him.
No,
Send Boston some cookies, Mr. G.
He needs Dr. Jordan Peterson. Got to listen to
George. Send Boston some cookies. He hasn't tried them yet.
Send him a space
I sure will.
A space bar. That shit'll
Boston, send me your address. I'll send it to Mr. G for your cookies.
Okay, I'll send you my address.
All right, let me wrap this up. We've been going a long time. I actually enjoyed today's show a lot. I think the viewers will as well. Thanks, Boston. Thank you, Carlo, for joining us. Of course, the entire Whack Pack, and Jimmy, wherever you are, please just move down to Florida. This guy's he's a glutton for punishment.
He's moving. He spoke to me the other day. He's moving. He
is.
Moving.
Oh, I swear to God, he's waiting for me.
He's not going anywhere.
I thought you were moving. You told me you were moving like last week. You were moving, supposedly.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in the process.
Okay.
I'm going to buy a house down there first.
All right.
Mr. G's mobile. Jimmy's not.
That's true.
I don't know Jimmy well, but I guess
he's going to the East Coast. I
think Jimmy would move back in a minute. He'd be bored to death in
Florida. No, Jimmy can ride his bike around all year round down here. He'd love it.
No, we're getting a food truck.
I told you.
We get the food truck. We'll get
you. Will make a fortune. You, Greg, and Jimmy in a food truck.
I already got the hot food.
Not only will you make a lot of money selling the food, but if someone films that, if you hire Tyler on like a Friday or something like that to film like once a week with you guys, it'll be the greatest YouTube series of all time.
Oh, it's tremendous.
I agree with that.
Mr. G outside the truck doing life coaching advice.
Yeah, right. I'll be running up and down with the flag. Yo, God bless America, baby.
At first they'll want to arrest you guys, and then they'll realize that you're a national treasure. And
I'll have people go up. I'll have Jimmy the thing, and I'll have people go up. And they'll pay them.
They'll be renting Walmart parking lot, John. They'll just be set up right in the parking lot of Walmart, and forget about it.
Yeah, but he wants to go to the opposite side where
No, he'll go where we tell him to go, Greg. You got to come over here to the West Coast. You got to live near me. I need you to train my kids.
If I was to move, I'd live near you. I need quiet. Bro.
Yes, you and Jimmy, we're gonna be down the block from me. Mr. G can be a couple miles away, just so that he's not too close. But
wait, I've been sending him Zoom meetings in the middle at like 1 in the morning.
Oh, really?
You see my Zoom? I'm at the gym at like 1:30 in the morning.
You got to bake cookies. Of course you are.
The other day, I was in there with guys with training, and I put about $300 worth of product in the gym, and it sold out in a day.
Wow.
So all of a sudden I look over, I'm like, woo! Right? Like that in the middle of the gym, everybody jumped. Like, what? I go, I'm just excited. My stuff's sold.
You make a good product. MrPottsProtein.net. Check it out. I'm Dave Palumbo for the entire Whack Pack. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Stop fucking around. All right, I love you guys.